Right guys, we're back, and we're back with the Altea. So today we're going to be doing the stage 1 tune that I've been wanting to do for a while before we start adding the bits that I've bought to get this car fast. So let's just stage 1 tune it, see where it goes, and then we'll move on. So I'm going to be using CMD for this. Again, we're going to flash it with the old CMD tool. We've already done a read, so we kind of know where we are. I've walked you through the software already to kind of like give you a bit of a head start of where we're going to be and what we want to do. So of course the next stage is to tune this bad boy up. I've already done a stock run and I've got stock logs, so I don't really have to go into that. So we'll go straight into the tune, see where we are, get this tuned up. Let's go. Right, so here we go. So I've got obviously the software open that we were looking at the other day, and we're going to go into tuning this now to kind of give ourselves that stage 1 level. Hang on, move me over there, I'm in the way. Give us that stage 1 level so we can start chucking bits at this car. So I've already ordered a turbo, so that'll be on the, I think it won't be next week's video because I've got another car to do, but it will be probably the video after that. So what the plan is with this car is I'm just going to chuck this car on every time it's kind of like I'm not doing one of the Matt's cars or it's a bit quiet or whatever. So this is going to be the car that we tune from stock to as far as we want to go, really. I'm not really bothered how far we go with this car. It's my own, so we'll do what we can. So we're going to stage 1 it today to see kind of what kind of power we can make out of it as is, and then what we're going to do, rip the turbo off, or see if that's the limit, rip the turbo off, do some bits to it, get it on the dyno again, and like just literally document every single step of the way to kind of give you guys something to follow and something to watch when you're bored on a Sunday night. So first of all, we knew it was around about 45 milligrams, so let's see what we're scaled to on the torque. I think I've gone past it. I could just open up that, couldn't I? A bit easier. Got driver's wish torque, driver's wish, torque limiter. Want that bad boy. So at 278 newton meters stock, remember right, it's logging around 275. Then we've got torque quantity conversion table, which is, so 275 puts us around about here. So without doing much work, if I can get us up to like 336, we'll go from like 45 milligrams up to 55, 56 milligrams without doing a lot. So that will be the plan, because after that you are scaling this map out. So I need to go from 336 to whatever we need to do, which we're going to do because I have ordered a hybrid turbo. So that will be the one that we put on. I don't think the bottom end's going to take a lot, so that might go bang, but we'll fix it. So I'm alright, 50 odd milligrams on here, because the smoke map is going to limit us to, because that's what happens with these, like you move one, then something else could stop you. So we're up to like 55, 57, 59. So if I look at the smoke map, because I'm running off MAF at the minute, I have got that leaky intake, so I'm not expecting massive numbers because I don't really want to put another stock one on, but I'm going to change the turbo, so we'll sort that when we come to the turbo. So we're looking at 55 on here, but only 1,000 MAF. So we're going to be over that. So I'll probably rescale that and bump this up to around about that 55, 56 level that we kind of want. But first things first, we need to change that torque. So what I might do is we'll change that torque because I'm requesting enough in the driver's wish. These are basically gears. You've got first, second, third, fourth, whatever else. We'll use these when it comes to doing a bit more with the torque. So these are targeting up to about 4 or 5. Anything after that we don't really use. So these are dead. So the way you can rejiggle the axis to give yourself more scope and then rebuild this, which we'll probably do, because then that takes me from just these handful of tables to all the tables, and it gives us a little bit more control over what we want to do. but we're going to be targeting, so 334. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these first, say 340 to take us higher than we want to go, otherwise that'll become a limit, which we don't want. So go up to there, 340. So that'll take the request high enough. I've still got the old logs as well, the old graphs. So let's turn the engine off for now. Burning diesel that we don't want to burn. I think I might actually take it to the petrol station at some point. 340, 340, 340, 340. So we'll pump those up just to 100% throttle for now. So I want 340 newton meters on there. EGR tables. I have ordered an EGR delete too. I ordered some right bits for this car, so it should be quite fun. Now, it will have a power band on here, so I could just literally flat out the whole top end to 340 and just see what it does, which is probably what I'm going to do. So if we go from like, it's going from like 1800, so if we go from like 250 at the atmospheric pressure that we're at, and pump that to 340 just to see what it does. It won't do that because there's other maps that will restrict it. And I'm just going to blend that in. That's at 930. I'm actually going to drop that down to 9. And I'm going to drop that down to 800. Just to give it a better... I don't want it to jolt between the maps unless I change them to the same. So I'm just going to run off that one line. All these should be right enough. So that kind of bumps the torque, which will put us later into the fuel tables, which will give us, I want to go about 55 milligrams. So I'm just going to change this for now, but I'm going to rescale the axis after. You can figure out the maths of this. I mean, the scaling on this is pretty crap. I mean, really, that's your power band. Probably not even that, like that. So again, I'd probably look at changing the axis when we're starting to look at the turbos. So I'm just going to go 55 just for now. And I am going to have to move that math because at the minute the maths isn't right for the AFR. Don't need to mess with those. Don't need to mess with this because, yeah, I'm targeting 340, but it'll sit at 336 and down this line, which is kind of where I want it. And I'm going 55 milligrams. It's just below, so I'm actually bump that up. Bit of power loss there. We'll go to 57. And then we'll blend it in better because the factory one's a bit crap. Right, okay. Soy tables were alright to 60 milligrams. We're running 55, 57. So again, we're okay there. We have the scaling. You don't need to change it. If you start changing those, you start chucking the maths out, so it'll chuck more fuel in that you think you're going to chuck in and things like that. So we're not going to do that. Again, duration tables. I'm up to 55 milligram. I've gone to 57, so I could put that to 60 and add around about, looking about 2 degrees. So we'll do that. So just add 2 degrees to that. I'm just literally looking at that because 55 to 60 was about 2 degrees. I'm going 55, no, 50 to 55 is around about 2 degrees, looking at these numbers. And I'm going to 55 to 60, so I'm just going to add 2 degrees to that. So let's just go off that, put 2, just to give us the same kind of scope. So I want 60, that's already 60, 60. So we're all right there. A little bit more duration. So obviously we want to be doing boost. So we're in at 45 degrees, 45 milligrams, but that's okay. Because what I find is if you do too much of a tight scale on here, so if I want 60 milligrams, I'd sort of, this is 60 milligrams. I'll only sit down that line as I hit 60 milligrams and taper back off again. So you find yourself going like that kind of shape fast. So I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to be adding it's about 10 milligrams, isn't it? So I'm going to want to balance it out with boost. I'd raise it for now, but I'll show you what. We'll go 200. I'll show you how you can actually work that out. So we're going to 2.2. It's about 150 millibars. So I want in my country, I'm going to be like right about here. So here I want 222 as well. Just to, in fact, I'm going to go. You always go about 50 millibar higher on the limit because obviously you don't want it to 50. You don't want it to be putting you in a limp just because you're running the request. So RPMs of that. That'll be okay. So that's our boost up. Don't need any of those. There should be at the end of here. Yeah, there it is. So our single value boost limit is at 350. So it's above where we want to go. You can kind of use that as an indication sometimes. I mean, the manufacturer's basically saying you can run this to 350 and it'll still be okay. We're still only at 250 or 2200. So by rights, you know, we do have a little bit more. We could go there if we wanted to, depending on what it looks like out the back when we run it. Definitely going to have to do the suspension on this car. It rocks. So we'll start there. So we've raised the driver's wish to above what we kind of want. We've raised the torque to put us in the higher band of the fuel, to give us more fuel. We've raised the smoke map to put us up there as well. That should already be up there, yeah. We've raised the duration on the one table just to give us a 60 milligrams. And we've also raised the boost by 150 millibar, I think. 150 millibar, yeah. So raise that by 150 millibar to give us more air. Because obviously this is, the car is basically an air pump, the engine. So we need more air in to burn more fuel to make more power. So we've done that too. Now, sometimes when you're scaling, if you've gone from, say you raise the torque, so you put you into a different band for fuel, so you go from 45 to 55 milligrams, but the boost table is already at 55 milligrams, then you kind of don't need to touch it. It's just going to put you into another boost table. In this case, it is at 45, which is pretty much where the stock is. So we have raised that just to actually make us have more boost. So we'll load that on first. So we'll call it stage 1, version 1. This is pretty much a light stage 1 tune at the minute, just to see how it behaves, because I am still a bit watching the curve of the boost, because it might just be that the VNT is a bit dead, because this car's not really been used a lot. So when it has, it's been like short miles. So let's flash this on. So we're going to use CMD. So once this is all flashed on, I will be coming back to you guys to... We've got CMD open? Should do. Yeah. So we'll do the run. So I'll just stop it for now. You don't have to bore yourself with this bit. I'll just set it up so you can see what I've done. So see at Altea. Let's say EDC 60U1, U34, U1, K-line, okay. Identify. Yep. And right. So I'm just going to bang that on, set the dyno up, and then I'll come back to you. Right, so that's all done. Fans on. Car is now on. Start. It's always a good start. So I'm not going to log this with Vehical. I'm going to log it with my own logger. It's got found. So that's that flash. Took 4 minutes to flash. Not too bad. So got that one. We're going to log it with Vehical. So KW basic initialize. That's going to look at the car. Go on. So that gives you a lot more options to log a lot faster than Vehical. So obviously I've logged it with Vehical when it's stock, but I prefer to use something a little bit more complex. So open cloud, because I always keep all my stuff on there, so I want that. That puts the groups in. And now we've all set up here. That's going to log straight to CSV, so let's just set the dyno up first. So measure engine power, continuous measurement, diesel turbo, front wheel drive, 100 brake mate, 200 brake, 200 brake, new driving trial, and then we'll set the revs up. So I'm just going to connect the logger but not log, so you can see the revs. Traction. I always forget with the traction control buttons on these cars. So there you go. Here we go. Fourth gear. Want to get to about 60 kilometers an hour. I'll log the speed. So there. A bit more. 60 kilometers an hour. 1500 RPM. So hold that at 1500 RPM. Enter, and that will lock the two together. Like that. That's done. So doing a fourth gear pull like we did the other day. But this time we've got a little bit more going on. So start logging. Here we go. Something really strange going on there with that old dip. What we had the other day as well. Just gonna have a look at that log. So still use the log viewer. $154. So we've gone 40 brake just by them little things that we changed. Obviously, it's not the nicest of graphs. So, desktop, vehicle, logs. So, we're looking for the date. That one. Yep. And here we go. So, we've got RPM. So ejection quantity steps up from 50 to 57, which makes me think that we're actually running off the map sensor. I've not looked at the switch. Because on the map on these, it's a step from 50 to 60 at 3k. And we went from 51 or 50 to 54 to 57 from around about 2.5, 3k. So I'm guessing that's what's gone on there. I suppose we've gone for this one really, haven't we? 3.3. So yeah, the changeover is around about 3k. So I'm guessing we're running off map sensor currently. Air pressure's a bit skewy again. 1.5 bar, and has this bit of a spaz in the middle. Now what you'd normally find, things like that, is caused by like sticky BNTs and things like that. It can't quite open fast enough to regulate the boost. Driver's wish 34, so we've got 340, 340, 334, so obviously the smoke limitation. It's requesting a lower fuel. Current EGR, we need that in a minute. Intake air, still only 28 degrees, so that's quite good. And engine torque is there too. So what I'm going to do, I think the fuel is stopping this little bit here from doing what it wants to do. So what I'm going to do is open up the limitation by map. And we'll find that switch anyway. But I don't want 60, we're going to go like 57. And I'll go 57 from around about 2k. Probably going to smoke, but I just want to see if it actually moves. And then we'll blend that in. Because we're doing, that's basically boost. So you got atmospheric plus the boost. So we're targeting 2.2, so you will sit down this line. And 1800 are going to sit a lot bit lower. So I'm just going to blend that in a little bit. what we could do is make that 2, transfer all that into there, and then make a new one for 2.2. But I just want to see if that does it. I have to remind myself where the switch is for this. From map to map. I'm sure it's 2. There's like 2 little switches. Kind of look like that. We shall find those as we go through. When we find things that we need, we will be going and finding them. It could be those. We'll have a look. We'll find it. At this point, I'm not that bothered. We're only above what I'd expect to make on a stage 1. So let's put up the stock graph. Saved. Yeah, someone cocked this up. Altea, stock. So that's where we currently are. So we're in a lot more power here. Alright, but the kind of graph kind of like following the same kind of where we got that boost spike. So we could go in and clean the VVT, or we can just chuck a new turbo on, which is what I'm doing. So I'll probably look at the VNT when it comes off and just see if that was the case, because it's kind of following the same characteristics. But we'll see what the smoke map does. See if we can get that up. I'm guessing we're running maps, so we're gonna have to find that switch as well. So let's flash on this new one. So this will be version 2. I just want to see if we can clear some of that dip. We're sending a bit of fuel through it, but I'm thinking it might be VNT. So we'll have a look. So we're going to flash this one on, and we'll go again. So stop the logo, because that's flashing in my face. We'll disconnect that. Get out C&D. And we'll flash again. And go again. So I'll see you in 4 minutes time. Right, while that's flashing, I've looked at another file I've done, and I was right. We're running map sensor. I found the 2 switches. So basically, these switch whether you're going to use the MAF or the map for fuel control, air control. So when they're set to 1, it means you're running on a map. When you switch to 0, it means you're running off the MAF. So when you do MAF deletes and things like that, you need to make sure that you switch from MAF to map to make sure that you switch over. So this was by default 1, so that is map sensor. So we was correct. So it'd be interesting to see what. Oh, there we go. We're finished now. What it runs like now. So time to get back on it. Let's see what she's doing on that different scale. Just going to go set the camera up. Right, that's that all set up. I've got my lead plugged back in. So we're going to start the logger back on again. The good thing about this is all I have to do is press connect and then start logging. I don't have to go through all the crap with that you would do with VACCOM. So traction off, start logging. That's going to go straight to CSV. I'm going to save this. So Altea stage 1 version 1. Spectre gadget fill stage 1 version 1. Just change the name of that. Altea YouTube. Okay, so let's see if we can clear some of this out with that new fuel. If not, I think it might be the turbo, which is okay because we've got one coming. So we'll open that up, see what she does. Logs are running. Yep. Stop logging. So yeah, so we've fixed the on, but we've still got that bit with the boost. It's Fabian. $152, $227 with a better onset. So this is basically the other run and this run together with a stage 1. So normally we'd have like a nice smooth curve here. Because of that, let's have a look now. Because of the way the boost overspools then comes in, you can spend the time fixing it, but it was doing it stock. So it kind of makes me think that there's actually a problem there. Instead of just going in and fixing it or kind of bodging around it in the tune, I'd rather just fix the actual car itself. So there's the injection quantity, 57 flat. So that's nice. We'll have that. Duration 32.64. So we're targeting that air pressure and it's doing that. Let me just. Got this little bar thing here that gets in the way. So you can see how it's overspooling and then it pulls back. If I just put that into a 2D graph, get rid of me here. If you go to 2D graph and we go to charge pressure specified and charge pressure current, and then instead of that we'll have engine speed. So I'm going to analyze it. I'm on the same one twice. That's like I am. So we're targeting this red line, and what's happening is the turbo is really lazy on onset. So it's coming in, it's going over. So the car's having a bit of a spaz. Let me just open up the wastegate. It doesn't really. Nope. Duty. So it's having a bit of a spaz here. So it try and open the vanes, but I think they're moving slowly. So then it drops back down again, and then it loads it back up again, but then it's overtaking. And when it's overtaking, it can't really do anything about it because I think it's got probably to find that the vanes are a bit clogged up. So normally, what we'd do is get it on the ramp, take off the downpipe, fill up the VNT side with some oven cleaner or something like that. Mr. Muscle usually works quite well. Fill it up with that and just work the actuator for about a good 10 to 20 minutes just to, apply a little bit more and just work the actuator to clean that VNT side out because the vanes kind of gets clogged with all the carbon and crap. So that normally frees them up enough to then jump up back on it and go again. So you see it's over boosting up here a bit. So, but I've ordered a new turbo, so I'm not really too fussed about doing that. We'll just swap the turbo out and we'll start from there. So we're currently at 152 brake at 227, 230, nearly foot-pounds. So good start with very little changes. We've not really done a lot. All we've changed pretty much is the driver's wish to make it give us the power that we want. We've changed the torque table to give us, again, to put us into the right place. We've changed the fuel. We can scrap this one because we're currently running off the map sensor, which is probably doing us a favour because the map is going to be reading the air in, but then half the air is coming out through the intake. So I was going to switch over to map anyway, so that's actually done us a favour. So then we've got the fuel by map, which is where we are now. Duration, we've only changed one table and just scaled it up to 60. And we've added 150 millibars of boost, which is doing alright, but it's kicking our heads in a bit. So the next stage will probably be rip the turbo off. We'll look at the VNT while it's off, but then we'll see what we can go for then with a bigger turbo. I think I've ordered a 1756, so around about 220 capable, but we'll see. And I'll have to change another few bits to kind of go with that as well. But every step of the way is going to be documented. I want you to kind of know everything we've done just to make it a little bit more fun. So I hope you enjoyed that little video of that little stage one we've just done. I've made it 40 odd brake more. I can't remember what torque. Let's just flip back to that original. It's about 10 M4s ago. Altea YouTube stock. So this is the progress we've made with those few changes. We've gone from, let's get the cursor out, move me again. So from 207 to 226 foot-pounds, not massive. You know, you can chuck a lot more fuel in to make that, but up top we're doing quite well. HP wise, 151 from 109, so we've done 40 brake, which is pretty much here where the turbo can't really do a lot. Now the graph's like that because the turbo overspool, catch up and try and go again. But apart from that, that's it. For now, project, stage 1, kind of done, but I'm ripping that turbo off. Let's have some fun. So if you're enjoying it so far, please like and subscribe, yada yada, and I'll see you in the next one, which is quite a special car, and it's going to be quite a kind of car that you don't really see on Facebook at the minute, or YouTube or anywhere else. So it should be quite fun, but you'll see. So stay tuned for next Sunday, where we're onto a different car, and then we'll drop back onto this the week after and carry on with it.